definitely. You gotta have that mindset. Like if you in the wrong sport, if you don't got that dog in you, that dog is only if you don't have that dog in you, you only gonna get but so far. You only gonna get but so far.
Definitely, man. You out of Norfolk, Virginia, man. Let me know how you got into boxing, man, being from Virginia, bro.
Man, from Norfolk, Virginia, I actually was, as a kid, I was playing all other sports like baseball, football, basketball, but boxing really stuck out to me because my mama said I had like an attitude problem. I would always in the back of she got her own hair salon, so I always fight in the back of her salon. One day I beat up somebody's son in the back of her salon. She just had enough of it, and it was so crazy because the coach that was in the boxing gym at the time had just came in my mom's hair salon. She was like, "Man, he just beat somebody up in the back of my shop, and we need to turn that negative energy into positive, something positive." She was like, "Bring him on past the gym then." So we went past the gym. I watched for the first day, and the second day I went in there and trained. Just stuck with it since. It was just like beauty to my eyes. I just loved it. It was a way to get rid of my anger and then turn negative energy into positive energy. Then around like 13 or 12, when I won my first national tournament, my first belt, I was like, I can make a career out of this, and I really started taking it serious then.
And you turned pro in 2019, if I ain't mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
2019, yes sir.
Definitely, man. And listen, I know you at 135. I'm trying to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong here. I know you and stuff like that
Yeah,
from
yeah,
conversations, but you are at 135, right?
yeah. I am 135. I fight 135.
And how long do you plan on staying that weight?
Uh, as long as I can, cause I'm. They want to try to get me down to 130, cause they said I'll be a big 130. I'll be tall and big for my weight class. But the way my body growing and stuff like that, I have no idea how long I'm gonna be at 135. Cause I could definitely everybody, including me, everybody else could see my fight, see me in my career at like 154.
Yeah, because I mean you're 5'9". You're not short or anything like that for the 135, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm 5'10" now.
Well, damn, look, you done grew. You done grew since last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where do you see your career within the next 2 years? I say 2 years because of this, COVID thing messing everything up. It's actually slowing everybody's progress down. So instead of saying a year, I'm going to go with 2 years. Where do you see yourself in 2 years?
I see myself a major like they calling me a prospect now, but I definitely see myself as a major prospect, as a major prospect coming up, and I see myself fighting if not for a world title because a year that'd be probably too soon because I only have two fights, but fighting the contenders to fight for that spot for a world title fight.
Now, we're part of that. All call outs are mandatory. So I'm pretty sure to say that, man, anybody that want to bring their name on there, you ain't going to back down from it. Am I correct?
Not at all. Not at all. As you can see on my Instagram, I've been calling out Ryan.
Yeah, I
And
saw that, man. Has he
that'll be
responded yet, anything, or has he not paid it no mind?
now most people don't even open it up. He opened it and seen it and he watched what I said, but he didn't say anything back.
Oh, see, man, I think man, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't give a damn, man. I think he's a hype train to me, man. I don't believe in him, bro.
Yeah. But that's what a lot of people say. That's what a lot of people say about him.
I mean, listen, when I look at somebody like that, now, I work out of a gym in Ocala, Florida with Tito
Yeah.
Casio and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I study this stuff, man. I'm like, man, this guy has his chin up too high, has no head movement, man. I was like,
Yeah.
man, if anybody with some real good boxing skills is gonna take advantage of that, man, and pop that chin. I just don't understand how nobody hasn't caught that chin yet.
Yeah. But it was one fight he had that was close. It was a Mexican guy. I forgot his name. But yeah, that fight was close.
So I guess I figured, man, you're on your way to the gym now. Is that correct?
Yeah, on the way to the gym. I got some sparring today.
And see, this is what I'm talking about, man. During this quarantine and all that, this young man doesn't have a fight lined up yet, and he's still putting in that work, man. Just like everybody else in that David Flash group, Shout out to David Flash, Dennis Douglin, and everybody else in there, man. They doing their thing, man, and so are you.
Yeah, definitely. And congrats to Florida too with Eric St. Lubin winning his fight last night too. Congrats to Florida. Big ups to Florida.
Well, man, enough about you, man. I'm gonna put your little prediction hat on since you're on your way to the gym. I know you ain't gonna be able to stay with us too long, man. Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko coming up, man. Come on, I gotta get your thoughts on this.
Man, see, I want Lopez to win because he came up. I came up with him. We fought in the amateurs together. We fought on some of the same cards together. So that's like home right there. But if we being realistic, I gotta go with Lomo. If I had to bet my money on it, I would have to go with Lomo. And strictly because Lomo has the experience. Lomo been in there with guys that been in world title fights. Lomo has the amateur experience. Lomo has the ring IQ. Lopez has the ring IQ as well. Lopez is a strong fighter, but it's just something about Lomo that's just so different that I can't see Lopez getting past.
Man, we and of course, you know, everybody in that group always disagrees on that. We all go back and forth. I got Teofimo by knockout, man. I just think, man, at a 12-rounder, he's got that timing, man. I just can't see him not catching him flush with one of them rights, man. And I don't see Loma having a chin.
Oh, Lomo got it. Lomo chin been tested. Lomo chin been tested. But Lopez chin hasn't been tested at all.
Got a point there.
And Lopez hasn't fought anybody that has the angles, that has the speed, that has the defense that Lomo got. Lomo, people say Lomo don't move his head. He don't have to move his head if he using angles and getting out the way, and you can't hit him.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, and like I said on my videos, man, I say, hey, man, Loma's got all the skills in the world, man. I'm not knocking that. I just think, you know, he's got a lot of high mileage on him right now, and I think he's suspect to get caught now, man.
Yeah.
And what about Earl Spence and Danny Garcia?
I got Earl Spence. Danny Garcia tough. Danny Garcia is very tough. He's a very tough guy, but he just too, I don't know. I don't want to say basic. He just too, I don't know. It's just something about his style. Like, I don't see him.
He's not active enough.
Yeah, I don't see him being Earl Spence. Earl Spence beat Sean Porter, an overly aggressive type of guy that comes with literally everything. And Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia. Yeah, they say style makes fights, but still, Danny Garcia lost to Sean Porter. I really believe Danny Garcia is gonna lose to Earl Spence too. I don't think he's gonna knock him out. Danny Garcia is way too tough for that. I don't ever see Danny Garcia getting knocked out.
Definitely, man. I think it's gonna go the distance too, man. I'm 50-50 on the fence with that. I'm slightly picking Danny Garcia. I just don't know, but I don't know. That's a 50-50 pick 'em. But listen, man, tell everybody where they can follow you on all social media so they can start following your career, man.
Yes, I really appreciate that. On Instagram, Slick Nick with 3 underscores. Same thing for Twitter, Facebook, Nick Sullivan. And I don't really have no Snapchat, so yeah, that's about it.
All right, man, and give them some last words, man, that you want these folks that are watching to know.
I know things are slow right now, but I just appreciate and want everybody to continue the Slick Nick journey. Trust me, it's gonna be beauty at the end of this road. I'm gonna give the fans what they want to see. I'm gonna keep posting on Instagram, giving them the hype before anything, and y'all let me know about that Ryan Garcia fight. I mean, I'm gonna keep calling them out. Y'all let me know y'all predictions and y'all thoughts on that.
We already know I got my money on you, man. I don't even like Ryan, bro. I was.
I don't even like Ryan, bro.
No, bro, I don't, man. You know, you know me by now. All the time you know me, you know I don't keep my mouth shut. You already know that about me.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know you gonna speak your mind regardless.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I ain't hard to find either, though. But you know, that's the thing about it, man. I'm never hard to find. I tell people, look, you know what gym I'm at. It ain't like, you know, it ain't like I'm talking out my ass. You know, everybody's welcome to come down. You know.
Yeah.
So why not speak your mind? If I believe it, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
But man, look here, I'm not gonna hold too much more of your time, man. I'm glad you came on and had a small chat with us, man. I want people to know about Slick Nick, man. Nick Sullivan. I think Box Reg needs to go ahead and put a picture up on you. I think that's disrespectful of them, Box Reg.
Yeah, man. Box Reg did me dirty with that one.
You know, I've told you this a while back, man. They need to put some respect on that name, man.
And they definitely need to put some respect on that name, man. But it's okay. We gonna keep showing and proving to them they need to put some respect on that name. Sooner or later, they're gonna have a world title picture up there. So it's cool. We gonna stuff like that motivate me. And
Definitely, man. That's fuel right there for you, man. I get it, man. I appreciate everybody tuned in, man. Slick, man. You already know I got you, bro.
man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on. And shoot, if you ain't got no other interviews, I can hop back on here right after I spar and let you know how that went too. I'm sparring Shaquille Daly, dude from Maryland, one of the top amateurs and as a JO, and he about to go pro.
Definitely, man. The only thing I didn't check, man, I don't know, man. I thought I'm live. I don't know if it went private or not, man. But if it did, I'm gonna upload it again. I'm trying to, yeah, but I got you, man, because everything I got over here is recorded. So I think I'm live, though, but shit, it's kind of
say live. I see it. It say live.
Okay, all right.
So I'll definitely hop back on when I leave the gym. If free, I'm gonna hit you and see if you free, and I'll definitely hop back on after I spar.
All right, let me know, man, because I'm gonna have to. It'll be a new link though, because every time I close one, I gotta generate another link.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, so just let me know ahead of time, and I'll go ahead. I don't mind. I would do it.
All right, that's a bet. I'm gonna let you know as soon as I'm done.
All right, Slick, man.
All right, appreciate you, my man. Thank you for having me on.
Nesta Bravo, and you're watching Cano Loco Sports. Boricua Power.
This is Ken Cruz, and you're watching Cano Loco Sports.
Welcome to another edition of Cano Local Sports, being brought to you by DV Tracksuits and Tito Casios, John 3:16-17 Boxing Club down in Ocala, Florida. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulties right now. He's trying to use the link, and it's not allowing him, and now I think it is allowing him. Let me see. Yeah, okay, we finally got it to work, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for the delay. But before we get started, let me give a shout out to Hector La Torre, who's always tuned in and watching. Dorian Velez and company. My good friend Pinklin Thomas is here. For those of y'all do not know, this is a former WBC heavyweight champion and was the first IBO heavyweight champion of the world. How you doing, Pinklin?
Hey, what's going on, Loco? Everything cool?
Everything cool, man. Everything cool, man. Tell us a little bit, man. How was it, man? You know, with that IBO, man. You were the first one to ever get that IBO heavyweight title, man. Tell us a little bit about that, man.
Yeah, that was something, man. That was brought to me because at that time I made another comeback and was thinking about, I was introduced to the IBO. They told me about it and said I had opportunity to fight for it. And, man, so I took that opportunity. I fought a guy named Craig Payne. Craig Payne claimed the fame was beaten to Philio Stevenson, who was a three-time Olympic champion out of Cuba. And he beat Mike Tyson. He also beat Mike Tyson in the amateurs and the nationals. So, but his record was deceiving. It was like 11-1. And so my manager was telling me, he said, Pink, man, you got to be real cool with this guy. He said, this guy, he's a barracuda. I said, man, come on, dude. Look at this guy, fat blob, and, the guy was big. He was like 6'3", about 285,
Right.
And so I said, oh, man, I'm going to do a number on this guy. He said, look, Pink, I'm telling you, you got to watch this guy. He's strong. So anyway, I went into the fight, prepared for him. As a matter of fact, what happened, he was in George Foreman's camp for about a week. And they say George had kicked him out because, I guess he was putting a little something on George, So anyway, so me and the guy, we fought. The first round, we went to the weigh-in, we weighed in, and I seen the big weight on the guy. I said, man, it's crazy. And then, of course, after he ate and stuff, he probably put on another 10 pounds, So, but yeah, the fight start, bing, ding, the bell go off, man, and me and the guy, we thumping. And first round over, we go back to the corners, and he don't sit down. And he do like George, George never sit down. And I'm sitting down, and second round, third round, fourth round, and hell, man, I'm feeling kind of tired. I'm puffing and stuff, and he's still standing up, looking stupid. He's looking good. I'm sitting over there looking stupid. I'm saying, man, what the hell? This guy ain't sitting down, Sixth round, seventh round. Now, mind you, instead of me slugging with this guy, I shouldn't have been slugging with him with all that weight, and the guy had power. I'm sitting up there going punch for punch with him when I should have been boxing him, moving around on him. And eighth round, ninth round, 10th round, man, he's still standing up, man. I'm saying, dang, man, I'm trying to think how in the hell I'm going to get to these other 2 rounds,
Right.
So finally, at the end of 12, man, the bell rang, ding, it's over, man. The fight is over. Thank God. I'm thinking God is over. And I see this guy, and the ref brings us out, and boom, I get a split decision. They raise their hands and split decision.
Right.
So of course, I was the first IBO champion, and that was a real good thing, man. So, but then what I wanted to do, I wanted to go after all the other titles, man. So it was a WBF title when I was going after that, man. And after I went after that title after I fought him, which was like 2 months later. And I had fought a tough 12-round fight. And what I didn't tell my people, I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell my wife that, I was having headaches, man. My head was hurting me, killing me. And but I wanted that fight because it came right back to back,
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Larry Holmes has said that if I won that WBF fight, that he was gonna, he was finally gonna fight me. And so hell, I'd have took that fight. I was gonna take that fight by getting out of the hospital,
Yeah.
But so anyway, I took that fight, and but I went into the fight too soon. That's the bottom line. And I was hurt. And after that fight, that was my last fight. I was stopped in the 8th, 9th round. I was airlifted to the hospital. When I woke up, I seen my wife. She was crying. And I asked her what was wrong with her. And I looked up and I seen my manager and my cut man. And they was looking all teary-eyed and walked away. And I asked her, what's going on? She said, you don't know? I said, no. She said, Pink, you suffered a brain injury. I said, no kidding. She said, yeah. She said, you bleeding from the brain. You have the subdural hematoma. Said, and if you continue to bleed, by 6 o'clock in the morning, they're going to have to do surgery. And, what could I say,
Right.
And it was all in, I guess, it was only through the grace of God, man. I woke up that morning at 6 o'clock and I stopped bleeding,
Yeah.
I was told that I should totally retire, and they didn't have to tell me anyway. I was done,
Right.
But what costed me that fight it wasn't that this guy was better or what have you. It was just that after you fight a tough fight like that, guys, and you fight them 10, 12, 15 rounds, like that's why they got rid of 15 rounds, because I think it was in 83, 84, 4 guys got killed after the 13th round. And that's why they brought it down to 12,
Yeah.
So what I didn't do and what you should do and what always was done, especially back in the day, if these fights, the big heavyweight fights that used to come on CBS and NBC, Wide World of Sports, at least 6 months, in between the fights,
Right.
To give you time to heal, get yourself together, take off a little bit, and start back up and get back in shape,
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I didn't do, man. I didn't take off. I didn't take time off. I went right back into it with the headache, and I suffered the injury, I think, in that IBO fight. That's where it came from.
Right.
So, but that's what brought my career to an end. And but Loco man, I ain't got no doubt. I ain't got no regrets, man. I feel good.
You shouldn't have any, man. You had a hell of a career, man. A fun fact that many of y'all may not know, or maybe y'all are too young to know, man. And I wanted to ask you about this because I never did ask you about this, man. You went pro after 3 amateur fights only, man. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Loco. I started training. I think it was like November 14th, 1977. I found a gym. And my trainer put me into a fight in the Golden Gloves, Tacoma Golden Gloves, January 26th, 1970. No, I'm going to say January 26th, 1978.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost the fight. I lost to a guy named Tommy Thomas. He was fighting out of Walla Walla Penitentiary in Washington State.
Right,
He had about 5 fights. The reason why he beat me was because he looked like a fighter and I didn't. He probably was doing, I was throwing blows. I was trying to get to the end,
Yeah.
And he had a little experience, so I guess he won looking good. And so 2 weeks later, we fought. I told him after the fight I was gonna whoop him in the Seattle gloves. He said, "No, man, I'm going down light heavyweight." So he did, and I ended up fighting another guy, preliminary fights, around February 10th, around my birthday, 2 weeks later. And I fought this guy. His name was Big Blue something. He was out of Monroe Penitentiary. So I'm saying, dang, why I'm fighting all these guys out of prison, man? This guy, big guy, looked like Sonny Liston.
Yeah.
And I said, dang, man. But anyway, I jabbed him, man. I had him bleeding, nose busted, lip busted. And I won the fight. But after that, and before that, 2 days before that, I was sparring with some local heavyweights down there in Seattle. It was Boone Kirkman and Ibar Iverton. And I was sparring with Ibar Iverton because he needed both of them fought Foreman, Larry Holmes, different ones. But hell, man, I was just getting my feet wet. I had just been in the ring, in the gym, not even too much, So my trainer took me down to Toro. They said, man, we need some boxing. I told them we need boxing too. So I boxed 3 rounds, and I thought that was it, and they needed one more round. Man, at least give us one more round. I got to fight 8 rounds. And I said, Joe, man, I'm tired, man. I can't do this. He said, come on, Nick. They give him one more round. I said, okay. So, man, about last 15 seconds of that round, man, I was completely out of gas, man. And, these are them roundhouse guys. They threw them haymakers,
Yeah.
And Logo, man, I seen the punch coming. I was back on the rope. I seen the punch coming like a radar, but I couldn't get away from it. I was too tired to move. I was too tired to move. All I could do is breathe. And bam, I got hit with that shot, man. When I got hit with it, man, that was it. The bell rang. Ding. I went back to my corner, and I told Joe, I said, man, my mouth is killing me, man. He said, let me see. He said, open up your mouth, move it around. And I moved around. He said, man, go get you some super bubble gum and chew it. You'll be all right.
Damn.
Said,
old school.
Okay. Old school, So I did that. So anyway, of course, I went into that fight. I fought Big Blue. And then my jaw swelled all up after that. It was over with. But I had to fight the finals that night, So Joe said, man, we're going to my wife. We're going to go home to my wife. She done cooked the roast and all that stuff. So we're going to eat. Then I'm going to cool out, man. Watch football game. You just get you some rest. So he laid me down, put an ice pack on my mouth, you know, and as he put an ice pack, I laid down for a couple of hours. No, about 2 or 3 hours.
Do you remember when Trump used to rightly criticize Obama for requesting that the Fed drop rates and launch quantitative? We do not want to get into creating more and more debt, but that's what you're seeing today. This is what Fox News is. Listen to this. Divided, and we can't even come together and stand against our common enemy, the Federal Reserve. And here's Trump feeding into it. Here are the Democrats feeding into it. Democrats are heartless. Why? Because we don't want to strap future unborn generations with multi-generational debt slavery. That's exactly what it is. They don't want to give stimulus payments. That's a euphemism for debt. They don't want to give debt to the people. That's what the stimulus payments are. We don't want to give banker bailouts.
Like people, and that's my issue with quote unquote fanboys, is that they, of any demographic, of any game, of any company, is that they aren't consistent when they apply their arguments to other games. That's my only issue, right? Just be fucking consistent. That's all I ask. CD Projekt, all these anti-micro, you got CD Projekt, what, I can't remember the fucking guy's name. Well, he specifically said that putting microtransactions in a game was a bad idea. Lo and behold, microtransactions for when Cyberpunk or whatever that online shit that they're coming out with gets released, they say it's going to be microtransactions in it, and these motherfuckers get mad at me for highlighting the shit. Right there. Well, that's different. I was only gonna play it for the single player. No, wait a minute. Wait the fuck a minute. That wasn't the argument. That was not the argument. That was not the fucking argument. If you're gonna be anti-microtransactions, be anti-microtransactions. You know what I'm saying? Just call it straight. Don't fucking, stick and move, bro. It's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for their competition to do it. Seeing so many people defending that shit. They come out, they've been talking all this shit, shooting shots, right? That's what Project Red's done a great job, fantastic job. Painted themselves in a corner, but fantastic job of trying to make it seem as if they are different from fucking everybody, or not everybody, but you know, some of the other companies and how they do their definitely their online presence nowadays with the technology catching up, and they're having microtransactions and shit like that, taking shots at all these other fucking companies. So now they're just on rhetoric alone. Then they finally come out with a game that's more on, or in the future, coming out with a game that is more online oriented, and what do you know, the bitch has microtransactions, and the fucking CD Projekt Red fanboys defend that shit endlessly because it's okay for them to fucking do it, but God forbid the other companies have microtransactions in they shit. Doesn't even fucking make sense. So, but I give them credit, man. They fucking, it's off rhetoric alone, and that's pretty much it, but they've done a great job of really talking themselves up, you know what I'm saying? Great job. I will give them that. Marketing over everything. But people were fucking mad at me, and all I did was highlight, hey, if you're gonna criticize microtransactions being in games, you think you'd hold their feet to the fire and say, take that shit out the game. But nah, it's okay for them to do it. Those guys are smart though. Whoever works on CD Projekt Red's marketing teams, as far definitely over the past about 3 years, man, they've been fucking killing it. In this day and age, we've been conditioned to accept glitches and bugs to the point to where the game comes out before it's playable, and no casuals even notice nor care. Like I said, it happened with Glitcher 3. I expect it only because, it's definitely, if the game is online, it's just the technology is more so what it is that obviously you want to minimize the bugs, but I expect at least a handful of them to be in the games at launch, because even with beta testing, it's only so much that you can do until if the game is online, until your shit gets flooded with that influx of players, right? no matter how long you beta test that, you can't account for that. And we did have bugs, and I know a lot of people think that we didn't. We did have bugs in our previous games, definitely on PlayStation. We just fucking dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? It's more so what it is, and you had the cheat codes and shit like that. There was bugs in the fucking game. A lot of them weren't game breaking, to be fair, but there were absolutely bugs and glitches and shit in those games that we played, and obviously they couldn't update them. Are there more now? By all you guys stopping by. This is a great conversation, by the way. But yeah, like, games have glitches. Well, I mean, I just expect it. Yeah, you don't want game breaking glitches. Like talking NBA 2K, first game. Well, y'all remember, for those of us that have played it, that first, I can't remember what year that was. The first game that the first 2K that came out for the PlayStation 4. That one. Holy shit. When you talk about, it was literally unplayable. It was unplayable. You couldn't get in. That was when you couldn't get in you couldn't even load in. The bitch was unplayable. Like, unplayable. Those, of course, you don't want those in your game. When you literally cannot play the game. Like, you don't even have an option to play the bitch. You can't load into the bitch at all. That type of shit, you don't want in your games. You can't tolerate that. You can't fucking tolerate that. But I do expect, glitches and shit to be in the game.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Too many casuals were joining MMOs, expecting them to be solo friendly. Soup Master, you are preaching with that. But why do people get rubbed the wrong way when you mention that? They act like you're attacking them, right? A casual gamer is a casual gamer. I don't say casual in just a pure derogatory sense. Some of y'all have to be casual. Your jobs don't allow you to game like that. Whatever you do in terms of your livelihood, your interests, right? You would rather go to the bar and drink Heineken. I understand. But for whatever reason, when we mention that, because it's becoming painfully obvious, definitely for you guys that have played MMOs, right? Or online RPGs or online games in general, they're getting bogged down, right? Because it's trying to appeal to that demographic, right? And they get upset and rubbed the wrong way because you mention that shit, right? Like, imagine going to a game that has always marketed itself as a single player experience and then grilling that game because the game doesn't have online capabilities, right? Even if you desire it. But I'm saying grilling it, saying that game's wrong because it doesn't have multiplayer capabilities. That almost never fucking happens, right? It's generally the other way around. And what people want is to come in a game that's been even definitely the ones that have already existed. You've seen this with WoW, but games that have clearly had a direction, right? A game that has a direction, and you have these people that only play a game here and there, and they expect the game to be made for them. That's only a problem when the developers try to cater to them, and that's where the mistake gets made, because you don't please anybody at that point. You pissed off your core consumer base, your target audience. You pissed them off, and then the casuals were going to be casual always. You know what I'm saying? So 94 numbers of people I met. Oh, Shadow Warden. That's what we grew up doing. That's what we grew up doing, meeting people over and playing the games. I guess people don't do that anymore, right? Because now single player guys feel like we threatening them. Like, I'm like, damn, y'all didn't grow up in COD lobbies talking shit, get the N-bomb dropped on you, and then you finish the map going fucking 24-2 on a motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? And you got people sending you friends requests because they know you a fucking dominant motherfucker because you done shredded an entire team that was dropping them fucking M-bombs and shit in the lobby. Y'all didn't grow up doing that? Y'all didn't grow up playing SOCOM, Demolition, what, 16v16, right? Destroying 8 motherfuckers before planting the bomb? Jumping either back in the lobby or on the team, because that game was really basically communication based anyway. Motherfuckers like, who you? Join our clan. Please. Y'all didn't grow up doing that? What the fuck? Y'all didn't grow up doing that? Like, I'm not threatening single player guys, bros. There's a place for it. I'm just saying. It's perfectly fine for a game to be built with you, let's say, not really being taken into consideration. Especially a fucking Marvel game, right? You just got Ultimate Alliance 3. You just got Spider-Man. Those shits just came out. You already got single player experiences, man.
An ally has been slain.
Team that definitely been dragging teams to win all the time. Oh man, it's nothing like it, right? It's fucking nothing like it. It was nothing like it jumping in COD, Modern Warfare, right? And fucking shredding these fucking guys, right? Definitely after they were talking shit in the lobby. You know, you voted on the fucking whatever map you're gonna be, Black Ops, more definitely. You know, you done voted on the map. You got motherfuckers on the other side talking all this shit. You maybe had a bad game going 3 for 15 or some shit. Got shredded the last game. You done got motivated. Your skin done got motherfuckers calling you trash, right? Motherfuckers calling you trash. And then you done went in with 21 and fucking 3. What's up, babe? What is that? Oh. All right, you didn't have to do that, babe. I know, but I would have fixed something after. Are you about to leave? Hold on, y'all. But yeah, man. Thumbs the video up if you don't mind. Now they call players who players who say get good is toxic, right? You toxic, you a gatekeeper. That's what they calling me now with Avengers. Gatekeeper and what else am I? I'm an elitist. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking elitist. We clearly not from the same generation, or we didn't play the same kind of games, more so. Because I can't imagine saying, okay, well, and it's funny because a lot of folks that thought I was shilling for the game, the fucking retards out there, all I said in my recent video was shit that I was calling out in the fucking beta review, you crackheads. The same shit was one of my biggest worries was that they were going to try to dumb this game down for the sake of trying to appease guys that wanted to treat this shit like it was Spider-Man DLC with Avengers. That was one of my worries, matter of fact. Let's go get receipts. Why don't we go get receipts, guys? Let's go do that. Let's go get the receipts. Vote on the map, then run your mouth for 30 seconds. They don't know nothing about that, man. They wasn't built. They wasn't built like that. Let's go get some receipts real quick. Because I was already talking about this shit. No, so it's just retards don't know the difference between aimlessly and mindlessly, right? Aimlessly, mindlessly criticizing some shit versus actually criticizing something based on, like, let's say, merit. I posted this goddamn shit, let me see. So I posted this, right? I posted this almost 30 fucking days ago. Worries, too accessible. This is worry number one, 30 days ago, right? Oh no, Ivan, absolutely the game is way easier. And that was something that I only briefly mentioned in my last video. Absolutely the game is way easier. That's one of the first things I fucking noticed. The adaptoids are fucking retards now because everybody was goddamn crying about the adaptoids because, oh, they're too hard. I'm playing on challenge 2 and I'm just getting shit thrown at me. It's not fun. It's not fun. And instead of Crystal Dynamics saying, motherfucker, get good, they folded. And now the fucking adaptoids are fucking retards. They were the hardest villain. They were the hardest ones on the game. Now they're fucking retarded. The goddamn, the little spinning riot bots are harder than the adaptoids now. The fact that you're still playing this game makes me question your opinion on games. Why? Why does playing something that I spent money on question your opinion? I'm also not playing it right now, bitch ass nigga. Because you said that stupid shit, I'm questioning your opinion of my opinion, nigga. But let's finish what I just said. This is why I think, so this is why I said 30 days ago, as I mentioned, the Avengers have a mainstream appeal due to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is why I think this game is so polarizing. If this was a different IP, there wouldn't be nearly as many gripes, but it's going to attract a lot of people that want rather mindless fun. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them or mindless fun. I'm just saying that this being an online RPG is going to get in the way of that. So the worry is that they dumb the content. I said this 30 days ago and they still fucking did it. So so my worry is they dumb the content down for the sake of making it accessible to more casual people. I was calling this shit out and they did it. I was calling this shit out and they did it. This may be unpopular with some of you, but understand the perspective. If we hit a wall early, that's going to be no good. This also applies to the multiplayer aspect. There has to be content that can only be played unless there's no way out, only live players. This would limit the creativity of the missions if they have to focus on, well, these guys may be playing with companion AI, so we have to consider that. This is why having solid matchmaking is important. I was calling it out before the game dropped, bro. You can't say that I was chilling for this game because I now have a problem. You got these other stupid niggas. Oh, I told you so. No, you didn't. Bitch, I told myself. I was talking about this 30 days ago. I was talking about this shit 30 days ago. Before the game even fucking came out. I did a long write-up. You didn't tell me shit.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
You didn't tell me a motherfucking thing. I had long said this shit. I wasn't ever shilling for the game. I just wasn't mindlessly saying it was, oh, this shit sucks. without actually explaining why. All of my criticism were legit because I actually played the motherfucker. I was giving live, honest criticism. I wasn't shilling for it, nor was I trying to shit on it. But crackheads don't understand the difference between the two. So if I say something favorable, they say I'm shilling. And now when I'm criticizing it, you got these other motherfuckers. Well, like I told you, you didn't tell me a motherfucking thing. You were too stupid to even understand what the game even was trying to be. I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit different. Only thing that happened, again, the receipts are right here. Only thing that happened is that they did specifically what I was worried about. They did specifically what I was worried about. That was all. This is what happens. This is what happens. And they ruin the game because, and this is what's going on with Avengers right now. And I want to be clear. Actually, the positive thing, believe it or not, I know some people are like anti-lot games as a service. I'm not. The positive thing is that they can get it on the rails. Destiny ended up having some of these, definitely Destiny 2 had some of these similar issues. It's almost a mirror image in some cases. Not quite. But they had a lot of these issues too, right? And yeah, it's just one of those things where you have to commit to your demographic. The problem that it suffers is that people, again, it's an economic question as well, right? You have people, all these normies that are playing this game. All of these casual motherfuckers that are playing this game are attracted to it because they've been watching the movie for the last 10 years, right? The game suffers an identity crisis because what it tried to do was appease two crowds. Multiplayer, single player. The issue, though, is that they don't have the capacity to do both. If anything, they should have went the COD route, which is what they said they were essentially doing anyway. COD, sometimes, most times, gives you a campaign. Everybody knows that the campaign is just a fucking throw-in. That's a little something for you niggas that just want to, again, you drink Heineken, you got about 30 minutes before you about to go out with your bros and you play and shoot a couple motherfuckers. That's what the fucking campaign experience is for COD. What carries the game is everything after that. That's the multiplayer, right? So you can appease both, not appease both. It's more of you have to commit to one or the other. Though you can have one game, single player and multiplayer in your game. It's just generally one's going to be objectively better than it, and that's fine. It's just very difficult to do. And if you don't have the capacity, you just don't do it. What the game should have did, you had that solo experience with the campaign. It should have fucking ditched it immediately. And I know some of y'all disagree with me. I don't care. Because what you're looking at now is a product of that. They don't have the capacity to try to appease both crowds and make two different games. One for single player, one for multiplayer. Definitely in this design, because the shit is designed in a drop-in mission. So what's happening, what people didn't understand, I called this shit out right here. You're reading it. If they have to always account for the fact that people are going to play this in a single-player setting, they have to dumb the game down. They have to. There's just simply not. You cannot have you got a mission, right? And if it has to be or can be more so played with either single players or multiplayer, it's going to be dumbed down for the latter. So that's why you gotta commit. You gotta say, look, And that's what they were doing up until the game came out. Why they would pivot on that, I have no fucking idea. No, I know why. Reddit. Excuse me for misspeaking. Reddit. Loud Reddit motherfuckers who are more appeased by photo mode, right? They are more appeased by photo mode and shit than they are the actual gameplay. They are the ones that are loud. They're the ones that CD sees, and CD says, we have to try to appease these guys. Instead of saying, no, our vision of the game, what we said in the day one blog, multiplayer. It was always designed that you could play certain elements of this single player, but that wasn't the game. You had the campaign and shit like that. This game was more so about you taking the characters and then placing them in an online setting with other Avengers. Reddit, though, if you go read them, we had read a lot of these comments and shit too. All these fuckers are like, I want the story campaign. I want the single player. Why? Because they want Marvel Cinematic Universe the game. They wanted Marvel Cinematic Universe the game. They want a cinematic experience. They want all this pretty shit. This is why motherfuckers get mad. How do I have a community of people getting mad at me for saying it's too easy? The game's too easy. Because it is. Now that the game's too, and now it's easier. The game's easier, bro. Because why? You had a full fucking thread of people bitching. Matter of fact, let's go see if we can find some receipts on that real quick. A full thread of people. How do you search? I don't know how this shit works. How do you search on Reddit? How do you search to play Avengers? I want to search this because there's full threads of people crying about Adaptoids. What do they say? It's not fun. It's not fun to have all of what's supposed to be the hardest enemy on the game, right? It's not fun for them to be throwing shit on the other side of the map and hitting me. It's not fun. So what do? They dumbed them down. They dumbed down the fucking Adaptoids, and now the Adaptoids they're easier than the fucking the spin bots, which is fucking stupid. But that's who they are trying to cater to. So when I talk about casuals, you can get offended at me all the time, but just because you may be a casual, you can get offended, but you know what I'm saying is true, because the receipts are all there. You can be mad at me for calling it out. I don't care. Thankfully, I'm not one of those YouTubers who sits here and has to always apologize for shit. I don't give a fuck about you being upset at what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what it is. Yes, casuals and trying to cater them will break your fucking game. Yes. Just because you upset about the fact don't mean shit to me. I'm just calling what it. How do people get fucking angry, right? Hold up real quick. Why is my camera froze? Look at that face I'm making. Check that guy out. What the fuck is going on? The fuck was that? Anyway, the fuck was that all about? Anyway, all I'm saying is that if they have to account for you, there you go. That's what they did. You guys were crying so much about the assault Adaptoids because your bummy ass couldn't get good at the game. And you were getting destroyed, and it wasn't fun, right? Because competition ain't fun to niggas no more. It ain't nothing fucking fun about it no more, right? It's not fun to compete. It ain't fun to get good for some reason. I guess it's only fun when you one-shot motherfuckers with your little character. What type of shit is that? When I was looking at these threads, me and Sheep were reading this shit, me and Sheep City in my mod, and we're like, what the fuck is this? How are they crying about the most difficult enemy in the game? And they sure enough nerfed the Adaptoids. Now they fucking retarded. Now the Adaptoids are retarded. And again, the casuals were never, that's not how they're built. They were never going to be satisfied. So now, what have you done? You've pissed off two bases. One base that you really shouldn't even been trying to cater to, in the game that you market it to be is all I expect. If it was always a single player experience, marketed as a single player experience, I wouldn't be saying any of what I'm saying. I wouldn't be saying any of what I'm saying. I wish, how do you search, okay, so let's see this. How do you search fucking like, I know clearly people posted about it. Why is it not, can you not like search? Is that not how you do it? I want to search that post for reference. Yeah, I don't know fucking why nothing's popping up on that, even though we know people have been bitching about Adaptoids in this thread. Search Adaptoids, okay. But how do I search it for like only play Avengers? See, right here. It's had 1.3 upvotes. Fire Adaptoids need to be changed. They are completely and utterly ridiculous. This is how I imagine a person that posted this talks. Can have over 2 shields on top of each other. Seriously? Deals constant fire damage if you're near them, so melee characters can suck it, I guess. Can instantly grab you with 0 warning. Is undodgeable, unblockable, draining your heroics, and will one-shot you in some instances. Spam unblockable fireballs at you from 100 miles away every second. Exist. These need to be patched so badly, they're completely OP and unbearable to fight, especially if you're melee. You might as well just kill yourself. And what did they do, right? What did they do? They nerfed the Adaptoids, and now the Adaptoids are fucking retards. I had 0, I knew that was difficult, but that was fine, right? Me and Sheep sit in, Napa, we go in, I call them out. I said, oh shit, here comes the assault Adaptoids. Here comes the assault Adaptoids. Prepare, hold on to your butts. Hold on to your fucking butts and make your adjustments. And what do? We playing on brutal, hardest level, so plus 10, plus 15. And you gotta get good. You gotta get good. They right though. No, they're not. Well, yeah, they're right if you're a fucking filthy ass casual. That's a fucking bum at the video game. And now what are they? They're retards. But only reason I'm pointing to this is I'm showing you what I'm talking about when I say CD is, I mean, you gotta give them credit, I guess, for listening to the audience. But that's making the game worse. Minus the bugs, bro. Minus the bugs. Making the game fucking worse trying to cater to this demographic of people. I mean, call me gatekeeper, be all mad. If you have an argument, provide it. If you have an argument, provide it. Sitting there calling me gatekeeper, elitist type shit, don't care. Make an argument. Hold up. Looks like we got a Mac in a super chat. Plus 15 is insane, man. It's insane. It's insane. It's also very fun if you like competition. If you don't like competition, then yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fire adaptors were a challenge, which is more interesting and challenging. Again, coming from the demographic of gamers that I come from, y'all have to understand how seeing a post like this, it's fucking weird to me. So probably, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, Cross. But like to me, when I was seeing and then to see the community that people like it, I'm like, are we playing different? No, we're not playing different games. We're just different types of people. Y'all are casuals. You play a game, quick dopamine. You don't have to think. You want to be mindless. I'm not shitting on you because yeah, I just called you a filthy casual, but I'm using that in hyperbolic terms. I will come. Yeah, I'm right. Like I'm right. That's what gaming to me is about. It's about getting good. I don't look at games that I'm not that good at and say that game should be easier, but that's what they're doing. You know, if there are games, we just played Justice yesterday, remember? I don't play Injustice as much as I used to. I suck at the the combos and shit like that. And I go against tryhards where that's their main game, Injustice 2. I get destroyed. I'm not crying to Ed Boon and them, right? I'm not crying at them and saying, hey, make this game easier for me. No, I got my ass kicked. That's fine. The guy was better than me. I'm perfectly fine with that. There are some games that I'm not going to be as good at, but I don't go cry to the game. This is why this shit was so bizarre, or this, as you guys are seeing, is a bizarre thing, but it speaks to the culture that this game has attracted, and they have done themselves in. You know what I'm saying? They done themselves in. And the more that they say, okay, guys, we're going to cater to these types, that was their mistake from the get-go. They shouldn't have even considered them. To be honest, they shouldn't have ever considered them. They shouldn't have even considered them. It should have been, look, guys, if this game is going to last, it has to have a skill gap. It has to have a skill gap. You have to be rewarded for being good at the game, being better than other people at the other game, and we're going to send challenges your way. This is not a cinematic movie experience. That's not what this shit is. They should have took the most firm stance on that, but they didn't. And I don't know, that may not even be Crystal Dynamics' fault. That may be Square Enix. Maybe Marvel. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whose exact fault it is. By the way, if you are here, please thumbs this video up. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Wait, this is MCU. Is it for MCU type? Yeah, exactly. When you got people crying about where the characters don't look like they do in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm like, nigga, the Marvel Cinematic Universe didn't create these characters. You understand that, right? Of course you don't. You're fucking normie. Your first introduction to these characters was the goddamn Marvel Cinematic Universe. You don't own fucking these. You don't have any. You don't have these. You're not reading fucking stacks upon stacks of this shit. Why the fuck would it be? It's one of the oddest criticisms about this game. You see people like, well, they don't look anything like the Marvel. So, well, who died and made the Marvel Cinematic Universe king? They didn't create these fucking characters. What the fuck you talking about?